This is Harry Felker for Indie Learning Music Tutor, as my cat attempts to play the tongue drum, I'm going to attempt to show you inversions. This is the video for the practice video for inversions, utilization 2, 7th, and other chords. So we're going to start here on our C, E, G, and B, our 7th chord, C major 7. Okay, and inversion number 1 starts on the E, G, then B and C, which are right next to each other, which really highlights that tension in the 7th. Then we're going to move up to the second inversion, which starts on a G, and then our 4th inversion. So that's our C major through all 4 inversions. Unlike the triad, it has the extra note, so it gets an extra inversion, obviously. Our next chord is the C dominant. Now, the reason why we go to the dominant is because the C dominant has the same triad. It just uses a flattened 7. Right? Okay? And this is where it becomes important to make sure that your wrist is up, because in order to hit this key without hitting anything underneath it, you need to have your wrist up. Okay? So then form becomes very important here. Our first inversion starting on the E, G, B flat, and C. Our second inversion starting on the G, B flat, C, E. And then our third inversion starting on the B flat, okay. I'm feel remiss not mentioning this. Of course, we're going to be doing this with both hands when we're working on this. I'm just showing you currently with just the right hand, but you should be doing this, of course, with both hands. Obviously. So our next chord is the minor chord, C minor 7. You can hear that minor tonality. And then there is the C minor flat 5, the half diminished. Very ominous, spooky sounding music. No matter which way you play it. Those are our 7 chords. Again, follow the worksheet to look at notation, look at note names, my fingerings are not the absolute fingerings that are out there. Some other chords to note, the 5 chord, which is just a 2-note chord, the root and the 5th and the root, only one inversion. The sus chord, 1, 4, and 5. Of course, we can have 2 inversions because we have 3 notes there. The 2 chord, changing out the 3rd for a 2 for the second interval. And both inversions, of course. And then the augmented chord, which doesn't really fit into the matrices of a major scale. So you have C, E, and sharp 5th, so root 3rd, sharp 5th. All of these are effectively the same chord for theory purposes. And then there's the add 2, which is a C major, major triad, but we're going to add the 2 to it. And finally, the second inversion, third inversion. It's root position, first inversion, second inversion, third inversion. And then we have the 6th chord, which is exactly the same as the add 2, except we're going to be adding the 6 instead. So first, root, 3rd, 5th, 6th, or right, 3rd, 5th, 6th, root, 5th, 6th, root, 3rd. Alright, and just in case you were wondering, the 6th is actually the relative minor when you start it from the 6th position. This is the relative minor of C major. And then we have some 5-note chords that come up, the major 9 and the 9 chord. The major 9 is a major chord like that, and of course inversions are like that, and the 9 chord is like that. So this does require all of your fingers and spans the entirety of an octave, so you do have to have good form in order to get this to work right. So those are some other chords that we use for harmony and their inversions. Again, there will be a track that if you do not play keys, you can use to start recognizing the sounds of the different chord inversions, and if you choose to, you could play along with it as well. Our next one is going to deal with 2-5-1s with seventh chords, because that's the other major thing you're going to run into, and how that matrices stacks up as opposed to the triad matrices that we had already covered in the last lesson. So there's your chords as they're laid out on the keyboard for you keys players, and well, have fun with it. Thanks for coming. Bye bye.